There are those out there that have a negative opinion of Century Arms, and you're entitled to your opinion, especially if it's based off of your experience dealing with them. In my experience over the past 20 years, I have a positive opinion of Century Arms. Now, some people think of Century Arms as strictly an importer. They bring in new and milsurp firearms to the United States, and they either sell them directly or distribute them to other companies that sell them. But there's more to Century Arms than that. They have manufacturing facilities here in America, and sometimes what they'll do is they'll take foreign parts and put them on an American-made receiver. Or those manufacturing facilities will take the foreign parts that they're allowed to use over here on a complete firearm and install the 922R compliant parts in order to make that firearm something that you can purchase at your local FFL. So, despite the fact of maybe people's different opinions of Century Arms, I think they do provide a good service for those of us over here in America who want to have a milsurp firearm or as close as possible to a milsurp authentic milsurp firearm, but yet be able to get it at somewhat of an affordable price and be able to use it as a daily shooter without having to really ruin its collector value. But in addition to importing, distributing, and manufacturing, Century Arms also offers parts. And today I thought I'd go ahead and do an unboxing so you can get an idea of what to expect if you were to order parts from Century Arms. So let's get to the unboxing. Alright, I'm going to use the buck knife. Now, I ordered this, came in FedEx ground less than a week after I ordered it. I've had this box for a couple months now, and I'm finally getting around to unboxing it, but that's nothing new for any of my unboxing videos. There's some foam in here, not unlike what you'd find in a gun case. And then the two parts I ordered. They're foam. Here's a little flyer to join the NRA from Century Arms. And there is, let's see here, a Canic catalog and a Century Arms catalog. Now, why don't I get the box out of the way and you might be able to see. This box is, it's got a somewhat of a heavy fluting on the wall, meaning it's a heavy duty box, even though the wall really isn't too thick. So between that and the padding, they wanted to make sure that what I got came in intact. FedEx ground also does usually a pretty good job in my experience with deliveries. So I'm glad they kind of went the extra mile to package it up the way they did. So it comes with a Century Arms catalog here. There's the Wasser. And a Canic catalog. So let's get this paperwork off to the side. The packing slip is on the outside of the box, but I didn't open it up because I already know what's in the box. And these are parts for a VZ-24. The VZ-24 is a Czechoslovakian 8mm Mauser rifle, and it's a very nice rifle. There's lots of them out there that are available. If you were looking to get into an 8mm Mauser, there's lots of different choices out there. But if you come across a VZ-24, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Now, one of the things I've discovered about VZ-24s is if you're taking it apart and you want to take off the front top handguard here, you can see right here's where the barrel band would go. It's got a clip that is simply nailed in there with something that looks like a short finish nail. And this actually clips, this is a spring clip. It clips to the barrel. And taking this off is not an easy thing to do. It's very easy with this old wood to crack this. So having a spare is not a bad idea. Or just simply leaving it on, only taking it off if you've got to replace the barrel, I suppose. For cleaning, it's really unnecessary. But if you've got an older gun and it's got cosmoline or something like that, and you want to remove this, maybe you want to refinish the wood, or you just want to go ahead and inspect the barrel completely, I'd say be very careful. As far as the process for this, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but maybe there'll be a YouTube video coming out, or it's out there and I just haven't found it yet, that shows how to remove that without damaging it. The other item here is a VZ-24 bayonet. And a lot of Mauser bayonets look the same. However, there are differences. And you'll find a lot of videos on YouTube about different bayonets that are available. There's also websites and books out there. And if you're into collecting milsurps or any, your interest in history goes along with your interest in firearms, I would recommend starting up your own library of books. It's really nice to have a bookshelf there with a lot of different books, new, used, otherwise, that you can go to as a reference. So this bayonet here is in pretty good shape. This is actually not too bad. I don't really see any pitting. The wooden handle here is in pretty decent shape. I mean, you can tell how old it is and whatnot. As far as the markings, I would have to go to some of my reference sources to look at the markings. It might be able to tell me when and where it was made. The scabbard's okay. Usually you'll get these scabbards, they'll be corroded, they'll be dented, pitted. This one looks like I could clean this off with something as simple as Scotch-Brite. I'm not really too sure. Now, as far as the finish, more than likely this had a bright finish. This probably didn't have a blued finish, but this might have been painted or had a blued finish. Once again, going to a reference source to be able to find out would be helpful. So what I could use for this is a frog. The frog is the leather or canvas piece that you use to attach it to your cartridge belt. So I need to look for a VZ24 frog, and this was just something that I decided to throw on the order because it's a useful spare part to have. Speaking of spare parts, went ahead and decided to go into my VZ24 spare parts, and I've got a bayonet in that. So let's go ahead and compare the two. First off, you can go ahead and look at the scabbard. You can see this one's blued, so see what I mean about being blued or painted? So there's one difference. Then if you look at the handle, the wood here on this one, it's a little bit more rough, but it's a lighter color. I'd say this one is probably in a little bit better shape. If we look at the blade, the blades are very similar. This one looks like the markings are either worn off or it doesn't have any markings. This one has actually got some markings there, but this one's got it on the, I believe this is called the pommel or hilt. So, gives you an example comparing two different VZ24 bayonets. So if you're looking to accessorize your milsurp firearm, or if you need a replacement part for something that's damaged or missing, or maybe you're just anal like me and you like to keep spare parts for all of your firearms, or parts for a firearm that you've been looking to get and maybe one day you're going to have, so you're already placing the order, what's throwing a few more items on there and paying the same in shipping, right? If you're looking for that, I would recommend going over to the Century Arms website and checking out their catalog of parts that are available that you can buy online and have shipped to your house in a sturdy package in a reasonable amount of time. Hopefully somebody found that useful. Thanks for watching.